the sexual economic theory. And the crux of the theory is that sex is something that men want, but women have, right? So you got your supply, you got your demand. You got the sex is something that men want, like we don't, but something that women have. Okay, and we just don't think about this current era. Think about the entire echelon of the human era, right? It's a resource that is precious to women, and men want it, and they will get something for it. They will give you something for it. Now, don't just think of money. You know what I mean? We're women. What else do we want from you besides your? What else could you possibly give us besides money? Time, affection, you know, attention, and in exchange for that, the doors will open. You see what I'm saying? Do you see? It's not just money; it's also things that are non-tangible, right? So, kissing that includes kissing, touching, fondling. All of these things are wrapped up into the sexual economic theory, and the crux of the theory is that the power lies with the women, which is what we've been trying to scream to women forever. The power lies with you. You know what I mean? The power lies with you. And in exchange for the time and attention, you get the sex. Now, traditionally, it has been that women waited until marriage, until you got, for the sex, but understand what that looks like. That means you have signed a contract such that if you want this, you're going to have to provide for
A
me.
dowry.
Don't think about the current era. Think about the whole echelon of the time. If a woman got pregnant prior to marriage, there was no guarantee that she would be taken care of. It's not like birth control was 100% back then. Hell, not 100% now. But just think about all the ways that women tried to control birth back then. They were saddled with a baby. They had no job. They had no rights as women. So it was advantageous for them to hold out until marriage because
And
there was
then
at
not
least a
being a
contract.
virgin. And then for a woman or a girl not.
And it does serve a purpose. The sexual economic theory does point out that it absolutely serves a purpose. Think beyond what you think about prostitution. And it is a stress reliever. Sex is a necessary part of being human. It is a stress reliever. And some women are really good at it, just like any other mental health counselor. Some women are really, really good at it. And going back to the bordellos I was talking to you about, and the wide range of clientele. Not only did you have the grandpa who just needed to be held and tell someone about his day, but you also had fathers taking their sons there for their first piece, so they would know. And it's not just come on in, son, go get in there and dive into it. She would talk to him, find out about what he liked, just like a normal conversation. And then it progressed from there so that he could have an idea of what, a really good night of a sexual encounter is. It serves a purpose. And there is actually a burgeoning, an up and coming, I wouldn't say up and coming. She's trying to run for office in the next couple years. And that is going to be on her platform so that the prostitutes here in Maryland, the commercial sex workers, will have a voice and try to organize. And I was like, I'll be interested to see how you do that. Because I think it's a fantastic idea. Raise the level of your product, ladies.
If they can vote for a president who boasts about grabbing women by the vaginas, then they should vote for someone who is contemplating protecting those vaginas, providing health care for those vaginas, providing a means of stability and economic stability for those vaginas that men so love to grab.
Another thing that this reminds me of the next conversation that we pick up on this topic is taking an opportunity to kind of define out sex workers and who everybody is along the way, because there are people, again, strippers, people who trade actual, sex for money. We think of those people, but OnlyFans. How about a lot of these Instagram models with thongs on? Because honestly, I know some people in a thong that can get me there faster than somebody who's butt naked. And so it has a value. Additionally, one of the things that when I was looking through, because I try to be prepared too. I mean, I'm not as deep in it as y'all is, but I try to be prepared. And one of the things that I was reading was that the kind of going back to this idea of the transactional value has been because value is not a real thing. It is subjective. We are trained the way we value things. We are trained to recognize its value in the marketplace. The other part to each of your point, I think that the same way they don't want us to grow cannabis in our homes because they can't control the market, aside from just the money, it is also the control, because if the government can control it, it means the corporations can exploit it. If I come up with a wonderful strain, and just because think about if everybody grew weed, if everybody just grew weed at their homes, you would start developing some incredible strains totally by accident, which puts these larger companies who have invested in genetic research in a different position. If women could give up ass and get paid for it regularly, why am I going to go get a pair of new shoes to try to get ass? I could just like Riley said, I could just give you the money to get the ass. I don't need to get a whole outfit, buy bottles. Think about this. I got $1,200 worth of bottles with sparklers in the club trying to get you. Hey man, would you like 600? That seems like a much better deal for me.
Well, I will say, some of us need to be turned on too. You can't just, the money sometimes ain't the thing. You may need to look really good and smell good for me to get turned on. I mean, come on, this ain't no switch. You have to do something. I'm just saying, but some of